Staying with France, hypocrisy is not their only problem. They're also dealing with public anger, especially from their farmers. French farmers have taken to the streets again. They're driving their tractors down various cities. They're dumping hay and manure outside government buildings. And they're also building walls, concrete walls, outside government offices. Now, this is a symbolic gesture to express their anger at an impending trade deal. This is a deal between Europe and South America. It's a free trade agreement. It has been in the works for 25 years. It would create one of the largest free trade zones in the world, but the French farmers are not happy about any of this. Our next report tells you why.
French farmers are out in full force. They have donned yellow beanies, boarded their tractors, and they're marching towards government buildings all over France. They are setting up camps outside some of the offices, building bonfires and cooking French sausages and sending that smell over to the government buildings nearby. Other offices aren't as lucky though. Some of the protesting farmers have brought other things with them, like hay and liquid manure. They're setting the hay ablaze and then dousing it with the manure. That also sends quite the smell into the government buildings, but of a very different kind. And the newest type of farmer protest took place in Paris outside France's National Research Institute for Agriculture, Food and Environment. The farmers brought concrete blocks with them and started building a wall outside the institute's gate. The farmers glued the blocks together and erected a wall that was almost 6 feet high. And then they spray painted this. It's a pun changing the word environment to scam, because that is what the French farmers feel. They feel they've been scammed by environmental regulations. Europe is on the verge of signing a deal with some South American countries. It's a free trade agreement between the European Union and Mercosur. Mercosur is a South American regional trade bloc comprising of Brazil, Argentina, Bolivia, Uruguay and Paraguay. The EU has been working on a deal with them for about 25 years. Negotiations began in the year 1999. And a draft deal was announced back in 2019. Mercosur is meeting next month on December 5th and 6th, and it hopes to finalize the deal. Most of Europe is on board. They want the deal to be done too. But France is a notable holdout because French farmers do not want this deal. French farmers believe a free trade agreement with South American nations will destroy their livelihoods. French farmers have been abiding by European agricultural standards. They are forbidden from using certain pesticides or growth hormones. This is to ensure the safety of European crops and meat and more natural and healthier produce. But that also makes them more expensive. So what happens when cheap pesticide and hormone-filled South American goods flood the European markets? How will farmers in France and the rest of Europe compete? A lot of them probably won't be able to, and that is why they are protesting. They feel the EU-Mercosur deal will destroy their industry. France is the EU's agricultural powerhouse. French farmers are responsible for about 1/5 of the bloc's agricultural output. So they will be hit the hardest by a free trade deal with Mercosur. That's why they are the ones protesting the most. The French government too wants to change the terms of the deal. French lawmakers from every party want changes to the agreement or scrap it altogether. But their hands are tied. It's not up to them alone. This is an EU-wide deal, so they will need support from other countries to block the agreement. So far, France has support from Poland, Austria and the Netherlands. But even then, they don't have the numbers to stop the deal. It could still go through. That is why the French farmers are resorting to ever more elaborate protests. They hope that by building enough pressure, their voices will be heard and the rest of Europe will notice their plight.